Why are the NBA ratings down, you think? This is a real thing that came out here in the last couple of days. If you ask Clay Travis, he's been tweeting that they're down 27% or something over the last couple of years. We couldn't find that stat, but we did find that it was down. Ratings were down for the NBA, up for the NFL. Up over last year and drastically up over a couple years ago whenever the entire kneeling situation happened. PR scandals started going out of control for the NFL. And everybody was thinking the NFL was potentially going to fall off at that point. Is this the end of the game? Concussions were being talked about, CTE. Dr. Will Smith tell everybody to tell the truth.
It was a war on football.
It was. Everybody called it a war on football, and it was working, by the way. Football was going down. In turn, NBA was going straight up. Sport of the future, like Dippin' Dots, they were saying. Not lacrosse. Not lacrosse. It was NBA. Everybody's like, well, the NBA does a good job marketing their players. They let their players do this. They do this. They do this. It's a good in-game experience, everything like that. And then now, here we are a couple years later, and everything that we thought we once knew, we no longer know. Like when we were kids, we were told to drink milk. Now there's people that will tell you straight to your face, milk is dangerous for you. Everything you're ever told is a lie. That's what we need to know. And right now, I don't know how the NBA turns it around. And last night, I would be putting the Greek Freak and Vince Carter one-on-one on TV every single night.
I got a few thoughts on why it's done.
Okay.
Number one, I think the Eastern Conference stinks, and those are all the 7 o'clock primetime games normally.
East Coast bias is a real thing.
So why watch them?
Yep, True. I could agree with that.
The Warriors were not supposed to be this bad. You didn't think that Curry was going to get hurt, and D'Angelo Russell was going to get hurt, and Clay was going to be out for the entire season, and they're on all the primetime games. So
worst
why
team
watch
in the
them?
NBA.
And by the way, whenever you hear that they're on television, you probably watch, and then you go like, this team stinks, and then you turn it off immediately. And whenever the NBA was scheduling things, I'd assume they're like, well, these guys really good at basketball, going to be really good at basketball. Let's give them all the primetime games, and they stink. It's like when the NFL and the Cowboys are bad, and they're on national TV all the time. It's going to be tough.
And then probably the biggest reason is LeBron's on too much, and people hate watching LeBron.
Whoa.
See, I think if anything, LeBron's saving the ratings. Like, he's still like the one stalwart that people will drop what they're doing to go watch.
I turn it off if I see him.
No, he's like Floyd Mayweather. LeBron is Floyd Mayweather. If you hate him, you want to watch and see what he does.
Exactly.
You want to watch to see if he lets a ball roll out of bounds. You want to see if he shows up with a glass of wine. You want to see if he goes off for 50, 60, and has an incredible dunk, a no-look pass or two, and does something insane. Now, if you love him, all you're trying to see is, okay, LeBron, do something that I can say publicly that makes me like you even more, that buries the people that hate you. It hasn't been a lot of that lately off the court, but on the court, I think he's been turning it on. I would argue that he's doing well. I watched the Clippers. They're playing the Celtics last night.
Last night.
Great game last night. I watched that after I got home from an NBA game. I really felt like I got my entire NBA appetite filled for the season, probably. Sure. And that could potentially be why the ratings are down too. But whenever basketball, and when the NBA is doing good, it's good. Yeah. Like whenever they're playing and you got the healthy players and things are going well, I mean, it's good. I would argue it's some of the best sport in the world whenever the NBA is really going. But boy, a bad NBA game is tough to watch because the initial reaction is like, oh, these guys aren't trying. They're not running as fast as they can. And these dudes stink. So it's like tough to watch. I don't know. That's going to have to be a little bit of a PR
point that you brought up. And I think NBA social media is the only league that lets you just rip clips and put them on social media with no repercussions at all.
And is that a bad decision?
We used to always commend them for doing it, but if you could just go on Twitter and pretty much catch all the highlights from the game, you don't really have to watch the game.
I know, it's interesting because we put our show strictly everything on social media, basically, right? So what does that do for ratings elsewhere? I don't know. We count those as our ratings, as people should. It's like, hey, how many people saw this clip? We saw this. These are the numbers we did today, both clips and show-wise, right? So you can put those together. Those are two different things from a marketing standpoint. Who knows if leagues will ever do that, right? Because it's going to be tough to. Now, granted, you got a lot of leagues putting little watermarked stamps on from businesses, so they're starting to sell their social videos, but that doesn't help for ratings. For our show, we are an internet show, so that is like kind of the only thing that we have. If you're a television thing, but also a lot of your clips are getting shared on social media, are you feeling screwed if you're Fox or if you're NBC or if you're ESPN and you paid TNT and you paid for these rights, and then me on the internet, who I love the internet, by the way, and I hope this never goes away, I'll watch an entire Lakers game just on the Lakers Twitter feed. They'll be like, all right, here's a dunk, good, we're up, we're down, we're tied, we win. All right, good, the Lakers got a big win last night. Did you see what the Lakers did last night? Yeah, I scrolled through 5 tweets.
Well, and that's what they need to do, because anymore, like, people would much rather do that than go sit at a basketball game or watch a basketball game for 3 hours, the same as everything else. But I think the biggest issue is they need to start the season at Christmas.
Yeah.
Most of their audience is probably NFL fans as well. Like, you just can't compete with the NFL, especially right now when it's like the peak of the season. All the playoffs are still up in the air. It's just, the players aren't going to hate it if you trim 20 games off the season. They should just wait until after Christmas.
Not just NFL either. When college a couple weeks ago when college basketball started and there was a full slate of NBA and everything, the MAC took in more betting action than any other. MAC football took in more betting action than the NBA, college basketball, hockey, anything together. Football is just king.
Hey, you just need to recognize, okay? When you hit that big slice, instead of trying to correct the slice, just aim left. Right?
Bingo.
That's what the NBA needs to do. Like, instead of trying to make your game bigger than football, which is probably not going to happen, just aim left. Just move the season a little bit and take advantage of when it's not in there. Because although there was a war on football and football ratings were dropping, this is a football country. It's just the way it's going to be. Anytime the NFL does anything, it takes over everything.